We got a good start into space, we felt. We were able to start not one, but even two colonies in outer space. Then, citizens, we met mysterious aliens trying to abduct our science ship. Thankfully, they failed. Later on, dreading the alien menace, we found out we could be friends with the Kenla Democratic Crusaders. We would try to make our new friends partners with the Cosmic Compact. The Cosmic Compact does not only cooperate with its members, we would like to extend an offer of association status to the United Kenla clans as a Federation president. We did that. And it would be positively accepted. We had gathered so. We made it happen. We would share some intelligence, and we would hope that our members would also say yes to this. They were accepted. Very nice. The United Kenla clans would now have association status with us. A migration treaty and maybe later a federation invite was not out of the question, even though there were some things they would just not like about us. They were also glad to accept the association status with the Cosmic Compact. We could already ask to be their vassal, but there was something else important to look at. In Damian 3A and the Damian system, faint traces of weapon radiation indicative of a military spacecraft have been detected on Damian 3A. We would research this challenging secret. Maybe it was a sign of the precursors. Meanwhile on Earth, we had to invest in a mining district to maybe further be able to build industrial districts. Our mineral income was already low, so we had to go and support some mining.
Traditional planetary mining was expanded by the first space mining attempt called asteroid mining, when a president named Obama in 2015 opened up space for a country named US. A plethora of companies and initiatives was started to first target the ERO, or Easily Recoverable Object subclass of near-Earth asteroids. A notable private non-profit organization, the B612 Foundation, worked together with the movement in an attempt to actually stop dangerous asteroids from hitting Earth, using the technology and machinery the asteroid miners developed.
Something very important we found on Procyon 1. The remains of a yacht cruiser have been found in orbit around Procyon 1. Seems to have fallen victim to weapons fire, but given the extreme age of the Hulk, it's difficult to be certain. There's no indication that the ship was ever equipped with an FTL drive. It must have traveled between stars at sublight speeds. That is so intriguing. We would let Sergio Cortez complete his journey through Procyon for now, before we would investigate further into the derelict cruiser. The construction ship was already there to do the necessary and maybe found another station here, as the other stations that were possible didn't look very enticing.
Procyon, the brightest star in the constellation of Canis Minor, consists of a pair of a white-hued main sequence star and a white dwarf that are orbiting each other within a period of 40.84 years.
Through years and years of space exploration, we could finally expand our tradition. And we could solidify our reach for the stars. The frontiers of our star nation are being pushed ever forward. Soon nothing in this galaxy would lie beyond our grasp. We wouldn't need as much influence as before, 10% less, to expand our nation's borders. And we would look forward to that, indeed.
Into outer space where dreams grow, the aspirations show, be that ace! Far beyond the horizon, hope is shining round the corner. People let go of former realism. Mood stars are rising.
Suddenly, something else was there, a badly damaged military vessel, bearing elaborate alien insignia, circled Damien 3A. The ship has suffered a heavy incendiary attack which melted its hull, leaving no survivors aboard. No weapons known to us today could produce such temperatures high enough to cause such an effect. Perhaps the ship's logs may shed some light on its violent end. Johnny really rotten? Examine the logs. It's time to examine everything, to find out more. Getting over from the ship with the expedition team, you could see people's moods go bad. They went silent as they looked at the ruined ship, contemplating a fate that could have been ours. Later we shared some sentimental stories around a holographic campfire on the holodeck. In the end we had some drinks, and it was all nervous laughter, but laughter nonetheless. We all knew the risks and the rewards. We got wind of another strange anomaly in the Beta Corvi system. Impressive structures littered a small area on the surface of Beta Corvi 3, begging for some more archaeological work, and we would not be begged for too long. We sent the Dark Savant on the grey surface of this frozen world. Also, we had finally researched improved corvette hulls, making our corvettes stronger and sturdier. Advances in building techniques will allow for the construction of sturdier and more durable corvettes, which was extremely welcome for us. Increasing the planetary build speed, or going for more standardized patterns, would also be good. Maybe it was time to... It was really hard to decide. We had not had enemies on our side, but it was probable that very soon enemies would come around, so decreasing the corvette cost was critical, and was also in the research agreement with the Varal Wave. On the other hand, increasing our planetary build speed, we would not be helped by our allies. So we went for standardized corvette patterns. What followed now was hard to believe. The Rubricator. An analysis of the ship's logs in the Damian system revealed that the crew met its demise when trying to retrieve an irreplicable alien artifact called the Rubricator. It was stolen from their society by a pack of thieving rats, a curious choice of words as they themselves are most rat-like in appearance. The logs are mainly comprised of curses, willing the rat robbers to the end of the universe and beyond. The crew has counted upwards of 50 individual worlds for defecation, as well as a wide selection of places from which a star's light cannot escape. But their arduous work has paid off. Yeah, let's leave the stinky words behind, and we have now uncovered the last known location of the Rubricator in a previously uncharted system, and if we are to believe its former owners, its powers are worth pursuing. We must have the Rubricator. We must find it. Track it on the map. Where is it? Here. This mysterious system. We can find the Rubricator. Can we? Will we? Will they? Could be dangerous, though, to get into that. Really dangerous. So we must have a fleet before we do it. There we went with the treasure so close, yet so far away. Would that be one of the legends that would spark a war later on? The Helena of space? We were far too rational to start a war over some minor thing like that, but what if it wasn't so minor? We had found an abandoned amusement park on Beta Corvi 3. The structures on Beta Corvi 3 are not as old as we first believed. It seems to be a playground, or an amusement park of some sort. Science Officer Dark Savant notes that many of the contraptions are highly complex creations that we can learn much from, and that, to the builder's alien eyes, this might have been a cutting-edge sensor array, or even a gigantic art installation. Regardless, to us humans it looks mostly like a place where you would take your young and let them amuse themselves. Very amusing it was.
If you look at something, you see something, a factual object. You perceive reality, but that is only what you think. Actually, it's a very personal experience, and what you see might differ greatly from another person's point of view. What could hold dread, fear, or anger for one person could be another person's best amusement, or even their nirvana.
Back to the Yucht cruiser. The archaeologists investigating the derelict Yucht cruiser in Procyon above Procyon 1 have transmitted their report. There are 2 large cryo chambers in the cruiser's midsection, designed to house 1 Yucht each in suspended animation. Given the massive size of hundreds of meters of Yucht individuals, this was apparently their standard crew complement on vessels of this size. No Yucht remains were found anywhere on the ship, but the archaeologists managed to recover logs from a computer that monitored the life science and medical condition of the crew. It has provided valuable data on Yucht physiology. Mesmerizing. Time to send us out further as well. Quick, Sergio. Hurry to the red and other mysterious stars.
Other mysterious stars include Tabby's star. A lot of people have recently talked about that its strange dimmings result from an intelligent extraterrestrial life form constructing a Dyson swarm around it. Dyson? Ha! That is something for the far future. If that could even exist, right?
Tabby's star, also known as the WTF star, is an F-type main sequence star in the constellation Cygnus, approximately 1,470 light-years from Earth. Unusual light fluctuations of the star, including up to a 20% dimming in brightness, were discovered by citizen scientists as part of an early Planet Hunters project. Several hypotheses have been proposed to explain the star's large irregular changes in brightness, as measured by its light curve, but none to date fully explain all aspects of the curve.
And now it's time for a big congratulations to our first speaker, Immanuel Can, who is more experienced as of now. He's made some workshops, he's had some talks, and he's now much more efficient in his edicts and in providing unity for our now very much expanding and sprawling empire. Also, the newly founded colony is ready to host some people there. A planet with crystalline caverns. Oh, maybe our researchers can find out something about these strange and undoubtedly important materials. Send out the divers in the ocean world of Barnard Star Prime.
An ocean world, ocean planet, water world, aqua planet, or panthalassic planet is a type of terrestrial planet that contains a substantial amount of water as hydrosphere at its surface or within a subsurface ocean. The term ocean world is also used sometimes for astronomical bodies with an ocean composed of a different fluid or thalassogen, such as lava, ammonia, or hydrocarbons like on Titan's surface, which could be the most abundant kind of exosea. Earth is the only astronomical object known to have bodies of liquid water in its surface, although several exoplanets have been found with the right conditions to theoretically support liquid water.
We had travelled there, and what did expect us at the system that we had found for the Rubricator? At the coordinates for the Rubricator's last known location, we've discovered a habitable planet with what we believe may be some form of settlement covering a large portion of its surface. The settlement consists of tall pile-like towers, visible all the way from space. Our archaeologists are eager to excavate it in search of the Rubricator. But alas, we would dig it, but we cannot. It's too far from our space. The United Kenla clans will get it. Still, it will be interesting to find out if there's more in the Roscon system. Just not for us. But something is there. Kleptomaniac Rats. This planet has played host to a mammalian society of compulsive gatherers and hoarders. Their labyrinthine city is littered with junk. Their towering ramshackle buildings pieced together from scraps of repurposed materials. As far as the eye can see are mountains of knickknacks, ornaments and artifacts. The tiny rat-like inhabitants did not produce any goods of their own, but were proficient spacefarers who likely pilfered the things they needed, as well as a whole lot of things they did not need, from other alien cultures. Indeed, interesting. Just while we were looking at the administration, we have an encounter in Beta Corway. We codenamed them Epsilon aliens until we can find out more about them. We will have a zoom in on them. A ship of an elegant design. Are they dangerous or not? If they possess a language, we must decipher it in order to establish communications. Extremely interesting. Extremely interesting. We will send Tyrann. Oh, yeah, no, we will not send Tyrann, because we need him to improve relations. We will send Darmola. Yeah, our Federation is kind of maxed out. So, we're gaining experience. We're gaining. So we can definitely afford this, and it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to have. We should also look at the Kenla clans again. We will start a migration treaty. Yes, it will cost us influence, but maybe it will open up some options. And indeed, we are coming closer to acceptance, from them at least. We might just convince them to go a little bit further. And form a very strong federation with us. Now, our dream would be to reach Horshfair. The question is, can that be realized? We estimate that the Epsilon aliens came from this part of the galaxy. But we could be wrong. The alien ship we had encountered had looked so elegant and wonderful that some of our engineers took notes, claiming that it had a form that resembled a bird wing even. A swarm of cybernetic crows that were asked about the shape of the ship confirmed that this ship could be the result of a bird-like intelligence going to space. And then, suddenly, a challenging anomaly in the Hosphere system. There are signs of activity by an ancient precursor civilization on this inhospitable rock. The barren world of Hosphere 3 will bring us closer. We must find out. Dark Savant is on the job.
Mysteries in the barren world, secrets beyond mere words, tales from a past that never went away, tales for a future to have some better days. Between the rocks and dust we heard the sounds of the eternal winds, world without life, without lust, devoid of changes now, and devoid of sins.
Something odd has happened in our colony on Sirius Prime. Admin claims that there's been an increase in feral behavior. Apparently part of the population has expressed hitherto unprecedented levels of lust and aggression, and no one knows why. Let's carry on. At least we have more people then. But be careful. In a science breakthrough, we've learned about an administrative AI that would help us speed up our research together by 5%, roughly estimated by the scientists. It's rather 5.72%. Organizational circuitry rerouting academic fervor has helped us a lot. And now we would look forward, either for more energy, even though we commanded quite a lot of energy for a fusion reactor, maybe. But it wasn't that important to get more corvettes out. For global energy management, the energy grid that we had was quite sufficient. No, we would still go for zero-G laboratories to increase our research station output. Even though it would be minuscule, it would probably lead to some good results. Suddenly, there was violence on the rise on Sirius Prime. The strange behavior shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. In fact, it has risen since the last report. Promiscuous and violent acts happen all the time, and a large part of the population seems to be affected. It's getting out of hand. Seriously, what's going on there? What's going on in this? Maybe we need some precinct houses here. Maybe we must show them. It's a rowdy bunch in here, behaving like wild beasts. Or even a stronghold? It's real hard to tell. Not looking forward to visits from the Mountains of Madness. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe we need a stronghold. But it's such a critical investment. Such a big investment. But it may be that we need safety. It just may be.
Cabin fever, or in our case colony fever, was traditionally not itself a disease. There would be no prognosis, however related symptoms can lead the sufferers to make irrational decisions that could potentially threaten their life or the life of the colony with whom they are confined. Some examples would be paranoia, or leaving the safety of a cabin or a colony building during a terrible snowstorm that one may be stuck.
Madness on Sirius Prime. The situation has spiraled out of control. A staggering number of inhabitants are now infected with whatever is causing this feral deluge, and the colony has started to break down because of it. Something needs to be done, or Sirius Prime will be lost. Well then, do something. But what? What? Where? We have a feral overload. It's high time to investigate what's causing the strange and destructive behavior of the Sirius Prime admin colony. Find it out, even if we are kind of waiting for something else. This cannot be, on the other hand, it can wait a few days, right? It can wait a few days. Just a few days until they present genome mapping. Pop growth speed will be increased by genome mapping through healing and through adapting our people better to any environment. Mapping the genome of an individual through the sequencing of their DNA opens up for tailored medical treatments and therapies. Indeed, and planetary unification for more unity and coming together will certainly be also a great help in time, though. In time. Because for now, we want to root out that problem on Sirius Prime.
Prairie madness, or prairie fever, was an affliction that affected settlers in the Great Plains during the migration to and settlement of the Canadian prairies and the western United States in the 19th century on Earth. Settlers moving from urbanized or relatively settled areas in the east faced the risk of mental breakdown caused by the harsh living conditions and the extreme levels of isolation in the prairie. Symptoms of prairie madness included withdrawal, changes in character and habit, random violence, and other things. Prairie madness sometimes resulted in the afflicted person moving back east, or in extreme cases, they just disappeared.
Finally, we've figured it out. Standardized corvette patterns will lead to our corvettes being a lot less expensive. Establishing new standards for the modeling and construction of corvettes greatly improves the efficiency of the production pipeline. It will cut the costs by about 5%, and the speed at which we can build these bad boys will be increased by a quarter. Very nice, very nice. Now it was time to look forward to further improvements. But where? We could take a step towards robots with our powered exoskeletons. It would help us mine, but also increase our army effectiveness. Or we could have some more effective mineral digging. 20% more coming from the mines. That's really something really good at the moment. So on the other hand, a step towards robots is always a big step. An extremely big step. A fantastic step. And minerals are cheap so far. So here we go. Let's start the powered exoskeletons. We'll also be supported by the Can research agreement. And this will speed our research up massively. Do science, they said. Give us the facts, the truth, they said. We were certainly using everything we could to get to the best truths and facts out there, but with the explosion of knowledge happening during space exploration and settlement, we felt overwhelmed sometimes. There were just not enough scientists. The main feeling, though, was that of being inspired and on fire. Every day was exciting for us scientists. Every single hour could be the best hour ever. Beta Corvi, we have found another dig site. A gas giant structure. A large derelict space station is trapped in a slow terminal orbit inside the atmosphere of this gas giant. The gravitational stresses will likely destroy it completely within the next 1,000 years. It has not yet drifted deep enough into the atmosphere to make archaeological expeditions to the stations impossible. We must get Beta Corvi. We must, but can we?
Beta Corvi, officially named Kraz, is the second brightest star in the southern constellation of Corvus. Crow, with an apparent visual magnitude of 2.647. Based on parallax measurements obtained during the Hipparcos mission, it is about 146 light-years distant from the Sun.
It was election time. The campaigning to elect a new first speaker was underway, and the result would be announced on 2210-0401. It would be a significant decision, and we had not yet fulfilled our promise to build research stations. We had built 1, 2. Only 2 of them. It was kind of a disaster for Immanuel Can, but there had just been no opportunity to fulfill what we had to fulfill. It was time to grab more space, though, as much as we could, so we could not manipulate anything there. The people that would be in the democratic ruler election independently would be the Dark Savant. Their home in the sky, and a charismatic one. Looking for alloy metallurgy, Immanuel Can, with about the same chances, with an architectural sense, and being an explorer and orbital researcher. Joel Gorn, with home in the sky and a reformer, with increased consumer goods production as a goal. And Johnny Really Rotten, the champion of the people, and an expansionist with aggressive agriculture. Alert! Another anomaly in the Ridigus 3 system. Sergio Cortez reports one of the small moonlets orbiting the gas giant has been identified as a promising mining site. A more thorough survey will have to be conducted to determine whether a mining operation will be feasible or not. Yes, absolutely. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. What a great system that will be. And we found a Yucht listening post in the Hoshfer system. We've discovered several massive listening arrays on Hoshfer 3. These arrays are millions of years old, and we believe they were originally built by the Yucht, though it appears at least one other alien civilization repurposed them at some point in the last 500,000 years for their own needs. The colossal receiving dishes are beyond repair, but some terminals are still intact. Intriguing. Listening arrays. Where? Why? Whoa. What? Listening arrays. Here they would be. Quick. Listen in. And then we'll survey. Were these the winds of change already? Democracy saying goodbye to an experienced and beloved first speaker? Many wanted to try out new things, just for the sake of it. With space giving us so many options to explore, so many choices to make. It was a terrifying and exciting Candyland we had entered. We found a precious moon in the Redinga system. A more detailed scan of one of the many natural satellites orbiting the gas giant Ridigus 3 has revealed a deposit of precious metals and minerals that was overlooked in the initial survey. Although the moon is very small, it has a stable orbit around its primary and appears technologically stable. An excellent find in Redingus. Wow. So much more valuable. We have a new ruler. Dark Savant will rule until the next election, which will take place in 10 years. in 2220. He has been elected as the first speaker of the Earth Culture Cooperative. Immanuel Can's reign has come to an end with the election campaign promises unfulfilled. Not enough orbital research stations were built. And now, this is our first speaker, Dark Savant, looking dashing. Previously, scientist on ECC Tulakin the White, our first scientist has now gotten over. Now instead, Immanuel Can has changed to Tulakin the White. A carefree anomaly researcher is what we are from now on. Reaching a certain age, but it's not time to worry yet. Absolutely not. And with that, we would say thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. We will return soon to the precincts of the culture and see how everything developed in the end. Have a great time until then, and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Can, signing out. May our new president, may our new first speaker guide us wisely. Have a great time until then, and happy gaming.